Hi, Leon. I'm so glad you're here today, and I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, life throws us curveballs, and then we have to catch them and carry on with them. But I'm so happy you're here
Yeah,
today.
back in operation. Let's see how we go. Yeah, very delighted to be here. I think this is an incredible, invigorating, inspiring conversation that's unfolding. I think we have covered so much so far. It feels like we've covered so much, and yet we're only now at episode 3. So there's so much more to go.
Yeah. So I'm going to put you a little bit more on the spot today because this episode is about, it starts off with Ada's family. So what is your take on it? What is it that you observed?
Well, as I said last time, what intrigues me, and that's just the way I look at things, which might be different from how you look at it, I always like to look at what are the headlines of the newspaper? Well, what is happening in this episode as an overview? And then from there, it's easier to go into the more detail. Well, this is scene and then the next scene and so on. So I like to have that overview. And this time I did it again. And it's quite interesting how the themes that just stands out as a progressive narrative of the episode. For me, the first thing is I noticed that Toprak, the artist, is now back on stage. So he made a comeback. So a very emotive song that he's singing, and it pulls a lot of energy into the episode. Ada returns to the village, the holiday village, to rejoin with Sevgi and Layla. So that's kind of surprise. She's back. Toprak wants to reconnect with Ada, but she plays a hard-to-get game. And for me, it's interesting. Maybe we can come back to this pattern in relationships, where the one wants the relationship more than the other, and this perpetual game that unfolds sometimes in relationships, which we can talk a little bit more about. Interesting that Sergei is now standing up to the mother for the first time, and she just declares, "I'm not a kid anymore, leave me alone." So very kind of robust statement in the mother's face.
And this is key. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. And this is
please
key
do.
Because she now is standing in her own power. She now feels stronger, and she's now following, I want to find a man that I love, and nobody's going to tell me that I can't do it. So she's got Layla, the one who is keen on getting her friend into a loving situation, and then we've got the mom who is like, doesn't know what's really going on, is really happy that Sevgi is getting better and feeling healthy, but has got the understanding that Sevgi has this, I want to have a man in my life. But we also start to see how the mother is starting to put the brakes between her and Zaman. There is like, she doesn't quite trust everything anymore. Although she still does all the things, but she's starting not to trust him too much. But so that is also going to start creeping in from one episode to the other. We see that more and more. Yes, but it's also beautiful to see the three friends on, again, how they now are there for each other. And Toprak has no idea why Ada is playing hard to get. He doesn't know. And this is the thing, is she sits with her pain, she sits with her hurt, and she has not told him the real reason for why she is so mad at him.
Yes. And yeah, so we can go back to the detail, but I think that one of the things that happens in this episode as well is that Ada's buttons kept being pushed. You can almost see that the fruit is now ripening and it can drop from the branch, so to speak. But the buttons get pushed. One of the buttons is someone who says to her, and how's your hand? And then of course the question comes at the wrong time, and so on. So that's a definite turn in the episode as well, when that question drops in.
And then also she's back with her friends because she's disappointed with Selim and she now wants a divorce. So
yes,
and this is where the things where she is like completely lost. She was secure in her marriage with Selim. She was mostly upset with Toprak, and nobody knows exactly why. Nobody knows what's happened, not even her friends know. But she now blames Selim for all his wrongdoing. So she wants to now divorce Selim.
yes.
And then we have a lot of interaction between Selim and Sefki, who is their common friend as well.
Yeah.
And Ada has a pattern that everybody is mad at her about. When she gets into a tight corner, she runs. And that's her. If I look at it from our point of trauma, we all have different trauma patterns. And hers is when the cage gets too tight, she runs. So she ran from Toprak the first time. She's now running away from Selim, but she doesn't have an idea where she's running to. And now she's upset about her hand because she hasn't got a job. She's getting divorced, and her whole world is actually at this point a little bit messed up.
Somehow, a very packed episode, because there was quite a lot happening in this episode. We covered it quite succinctly today.
Awesome. So Leon, thank you so much for being here with me again today and
Thank
for
you.
having this conversation, because you always prickle my mind, yeah, it's good to have this exchange and this conversation with you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sonja. Thank you.
And
Looking forward to our next time.
Looking forward to our next time. Awesome. Take care.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
you. All right.